Here they are. They're fighting the mechs. Holy crap. We got box art battles on our hands. Oh, there's just explosions. You can't even call this. There's grenades going everywhere. Okay, so we just got a bunch of gold, which is going to be harder to come by than Plasteel, I think. So that's why I went for that. Now, we are going to try to get a bunch more scanners down. In fact, let's go ahead and suspend the detoxifier just a little bit. I kind of hate to do it this way, but I am going to. So one of my plans is to get more scanners going so we can really start getting crazy numbers of scans. Unfortunately, I was really hoping that we'd find some more thin rock roof nearby. I guess I can dig this out at the off chance there's some in there. We can always use this for something as well. Like more beer storage. You always need more beer storage as a dwarf. So maybe we'll do that. Just see what's in there and go from there. So yeah. We shall do that. Let's see what's there. If we found some thin rock roof, it would be pretty awesome. This could be the throne room, I suppose. What is the mech cluster down here? Yeah, we just don't worry about that. We just don't talk about that. We just pretend that doesn't exist. It's a problem for someone else to deal with. We're just gonna, out of sight, out of mind. We're just gonna treat that like a real life problems and just ignore it until it either gets solved by someone else or it gets so crushingly large that it nearly kills us. I do want to get a pod. Do you have enough? Oh, we do have enough down there for a pod. Cool, a pod. Get that rock out of here so I can have a pod. There we go. For my pod. I don't know why I keep saying pod that way. Pod. Why do I want thin rock roofed? Because I can build things that need to be open to the sky under that. So, for instance, right now, one of the most important structures for me are these scanners. And these scanners cannot be built under overhead mountain. And so having thin rock roof nearby cuts our travel time getting to those scanners. So right now I would have to probably put them over here, which is a real pain. Probably dig a bit of this out. Wonder how much of that's thin rock roof. We'll check that out. For these, the 4 spots of the scanner now need to be. Used to there was like only the bottom left one needed outside of it, but oh, the transport pod, yeah. Transport pod, you are right. You're right. But there is a caveat to that as well. Even though it can function by roofing those parts and leaving that one unroofed, you still can't build it to start with under there. It's kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. Even though that would technically work, the game doesn't let you do it. What is the worst mech boss? Worst is like the deadliest. Overall, it's probably the Apocryton. Like, I don't think any of the mech bosses are all that too crazy for a couple reasons, and not just Killbox related. My first mech boss, I just literally outranged it and kited it, and that was it. And you can kind of do that with all of them, which is a bit of a shame. But if I had to pick which of the 3 are on average the deadliest, it's probably the Apocryton. Just because if it gets behind the other ones and it's like not within line of sight and it starts resurrecting things, you know, it can get out of hand. But in practice, it usually doesn't happen. But it is something you have to worry about with them. Forced weather, foggy rain for 6.3 days for orange skin. Nah. All right, we're almost done with our last research, and then we are going to convert that over into a bigger hospital. Straybor, do exclamation quote, and I will. I always said, do exclamation quote, and I'll do your granny. He said this was family friendly. It is. I'm being real friendly to your granny. You know what I mean. I'll read the granny quote. It's a new service. How many channel points is that? It depends. I have a, it depends. It depends even on this. You know those restaurants you go into and it's like a burger restaurant and you get this like card and you check box all the things you want on your burger and then you just give them the card? Anyway, never mind. I'm done. My granny was always saying this. I can't remember a time that she wasn't.
I have a story about Red Rocket. Would you like to hear it?
No, Granny, absolutely not. Granny tries to tell me the Red Rocket story every time I went to her house, and she just wouldn't stop. You guys don't know what the Red Rocket story is? You want me to tell you the Red Rocket story? I will not. But you can ask your mom. Ask your mom about it. Ask your mom what the Red Rocket thing is. You don't know? Oh, you could Google it as well if you want to. All right, I will tell you a slight story. I'm not going to tell you what it means, but I will tell you a slight story about it, right? So for anyone that doesn't know, what I'm referencing there is a South Park episode, right? And when I was a kid, South Park was relatively new. My mom really didn't care much about what I watched or whatnot, but I did watch South Park. And my mom didn't know anything about South Park. She hadn't seen it or anything. She didn't know anything about it. And so she was like, I started hearing some like bad stuff about South Park at work and stuff. So I was watching it. She came in and she sat down to watch, and it happened to be the Red Rocket episode. The first episode my mom ever sat down to check to see if it was like appropriate for me was the Red Rocket episode. Out of all friggin' episodes, that's the one that was on. And she was just like, what is this crap? What is this filth? What perverted stuff are you watching? I guess luckily it wasn't like the Woodland Critter Christmas, you know, because my mom is a religious person. So the Woodland Critter Christmas having blood orgies in the forest would have probably been a little bit worse. But the Red Rocket one was not a great one for my mom to come in on to decide whether she was going to check if South Park was appropriate for my age or not when I was a little kid. Yeah, so there's the extent of the Red Rocket story that I'm going to tell. All right, we are done with our research unless we get cataphract or waste pack atomizer stuff. So we're going to rip this junk down. Don't need that anymore. Scan some steel, and we are going to start putting our researchers all on scanning for materials. Because all we need to do is find plasteel. If we find plasteel, we can start getting ahead here. The weird thing about the South Park thing was that my mom had already like kind of signed off on things like Beavis and Butthead. My mom bought me Beavis and Butthead Do America, for instance, when it came out. But for some reason, South Park really hit that, no, 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 you're not watching this sort of thing, you know? But I ended up watching it anyway, so it didn't matter. Another one of these hillbilly child upbringing stories, very short story, but I had a great uncle. Maybe he wasn't a great uncle, but you know what I mean. And he had a pasture with cows in there, and he ended up getting his fence changed out to electric instead of barbed wire. And I would go to his house as a kid, and obviously I would do hard manual labor for like a Coke or like $1 because I didn't know better because I was a little kid. So it'd be like, yeah, you can help me feed the cows for 4 hours and I'll give you a Coke. And I was like, yeah, because I was a poor kid. It was a little poor kid. But anyway, one time he wanted me to go in and do something, like go in and get something for the cows or whatever after he changed out the fence. And I was like, is the fence off? And he's like, yeah, it's off. And I went and I grabbed the fence, and then he turned the stupid fence on with me grabbing it. And it just like, and he laughed and laughed and laughed. But anyway, the shock of that electric fence made it so I couldn't let go. It was such a strange experience. My hand was basically like latched onto that cable. I could not open my hand. He didn't leave it on very long. It wasn't like he was trying to kill me, but no, it's definitely not normal. That's part of one of the very minor stories of my hillbilly upbringing. That uncle was trying to give me superpowers. Okay, so we got three scanners down here that are working pretty often. I think I am going to dig into this and see how deep the thin rock roof goes, especially in this section. Because then we can at least connect here, make it a little bit faster maybe. Hey, scan plasteel. Oh, nice. It's not super mega ultra close, but it's closer than any other that we've scanned by a pretty good margin. What was this about, Pfeiffer? Pfeiffer laughed at a Vig's culture. Hang on a friggin' second. Dwarves, the dwarves. A Vig. Dwarves, the dwarves. Maybe he was trying to do one of those things where you like joke about your own culture, but he got mad anyway, you know? It's like a fat comic who's like joking about weight and food and stuff like that, but it offends another fat person or something like that, you know? That's what I'm going with. It's dwarf politics. Do we end up getting that wood? I think we... Yeah, we got it. Okay. If we put... No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say, if we put a barrel of beer in every dwarf room, would they be all right with that? Until we need this as a throne room, I'll just store more beer down there. How about that? Or even here. All this dwarf playing has made me want to play some more dwarves in Total War Warhammer. The dwarves are my most played faction in Warhammer 2. I haven't played them in Warhammer 3 yet because I wanted to play new stuff. New to me, anyway. But I'm really getting the urge to play some dwarves in Warhammer after doing this. Have a million mechs on the map? Yeah, that's a problem for future us to worry about. Screw that guy. I'll ruin his life. Why are some of these centipedes so white? What's going on here? Is this an optical illusion? These are the, oh, it's the newly created one. Yeah, Mech Assembler one. You can't just ask someone why they're so white. Why? People did it to me all the time. You know, when I was like, well, actually still. Like, do you ever see the sun? Why are you so white? Oh, there's like very little thin rock roof. All right, I guess I'll put some here. It's gonna be slow going to it, but whatever. Whatever. So back when royalty first came out, the mech assemblers would never stop. I remember back then that we used to do things like just set it up as a steel delivery. So I would try to leave. Oh, that's a story for another time. Another time. What kind of raid was that? Oh, it's an Itakeen with rockets, and they're close. Hurry up. Fat Dwarf, you don't have a gun? Grab a gun. Oh, the Doomsday is one of the first ones. Ooh. Okay, you got melee blocks. Okay. There's a triple. That's so scary. Did you see him aim that triple? It's like, holy crap. All right, what was I talking about? So back when royalty first came out, you could actually leave the assemblers up and they would constantly produce mechs. They didn't run out. It wasn't just 4 mechs. They would just keep on and keep on doing it. And so there was a strategy that we would do where we'd leave them up and, that we could just take care of it, even with maybe like automated defenses a little bit. And we would just let it go because it was our daily plasteel and steel delivery. But those days are long gone. They only make 4 now and they are done. Definitely some fixes I need to make here next time. Cassandra's chilling out. Every other day-ish plasteel and steel delivery. That's what I was using it for. Yeah, it was actually pretty nice. I was just calling in at least the first boss over and over. The Diabolus, just calling it in every time it was off cooldown. Yeah, the other ones actually take material, right? They're only one-time use, but. All right, so we are going to get some more ground penetrating scanners. Unfortunately, this is where I'm going to have to put them. That way they have the moss for the beauty. That works. And then we'll do... It's going to be pretty ugly over there, so let's just do a couple of limestone columns. We'll put the home zone there, the home zone on the way there as well, and we'll go from there. You love the names of the kill boxes? So I've been talking about there being these surreal things going on, and one of them is with the kill box, with that one. So when we were using the kill box at first, and we were talking about it in the Discord and everything like that, we just referred to it as the Chinese kill box because we found the startings of it on a Chinese website. And we didn't know what they were calling it, right? But then when I went to make the guide on how to build it, and I was putting that out in English, I was like, I don't think I should call it the Chinese kill box. That sounds, it's definitely not going to be good for the algorithm, and it sounds not like a great thing to name it, right? So we went through a few names, and I came up with some names, and then I kind of had people tell me what they thought, and we kind of voted, rough voting on it. And so I just named it the Singularity, right? Because that was one of the words that the video used when they were describing it. It was like, the rough translation was that they were forcing raiders into a singularity, and I was like, all right. And so I put that out on the guide, and now I see references. Like, I'll be in the RimWorld Discord, and I'll see someone that's like, is there any good kill box I should use? Someone else is like, you should use the Singularity box. Or I'll see a screenshot, and it's like, here's my base with a Singularity set up. You're like, what is the Singularity? And they don't, and it's fine. Obviously, we stole the idea anyway. Like, it's not our original idea. But it's weird because if I had decided, or we had decided to name it something else during that video, that would be the word being used there instead, which is, like I said, kind of a surreal thing. Seeing us kind of coin the phrase on at least the English guide and then see it used out in the wild is a interesting thing. Well, this really sucks. I'm not going to accept this. We got a 2-star, 2 raids, so 280 pirates, toxic pirates. Is that for the honor? Yeah, well, we would probably die. So look at that. 25 grenadiers. Do it for Victor. Meditative. So there is one thing we could do. There is one thing that we could do. We could shut off the base and have them attack into this. Who is our ascetic pawn? There they are. It's Lumberjack. Lumberjack, are you the only ascetic? How old are you, Lumberjack? Can we make you a king at 14? When's the last time Cassandra hit? Just like a minute ago, pretty much, right? Sounds like medieval Europe, king of 14. We have some days to accept. Let's see if Cassandra hits again. I think I might accept it and have them fight this, but it could be very scary. All these kidneys. I guess I can unsuspend this one. It'll definitely be good for those raids too if we end up getting those, or end up doing them. We are mining Plasteel again finally, so don't have a ton of Plasteel, but it feels like we are okay to start working on those again. What am I planning to do with the kidneys? I guess I'll sell them. Yeah. Starting to get a little bit laggy now. Can't imagine why. What could be going on the map that would be causing it to lag a little bit more? I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. Are the detox kidneys to help with the alcoholism? No. Our people are immune to alcohol. The detox kidneys are for the toxic grenades and stuff. We actually had people get almost to 100% toxicity, which is scary. Just fighting those toxic raiders in here earlier. Tox packs, yeah, they build up toxicity so quickly. Lung rot from corpse, right? Yeah, that one's not quite as vicious, as deadly, but is annoying, yeah. Who could have known that aim like rot, stink, gas, that it would be not a good time? Can Defoliator reach under the mountain if it's close enough? Defoliators have a 100 tile range. So, like, this will keep expanding. It'll never reach us. It will never reach us under the mountain. But if it landed like here, then yeah, it could definitely reach over there. Additional group of similar size. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too. I actually think this will probably take out the mechs. Like, I think this will take out the mechs, and it will be injured enough that afterwards we'll be all right. We don't care about wealth anymore, really. We are raid capped. We're raid capped, so wealth doesn't matter. The raid cap is 10,000 raid points. 10,000 raid points, which you hit on 500% at about 250,000. So now that wealth doesn't matter, I guess I can go ahead and set some of these other things up, so we can go ahead and get this future throne area done. Oh, too deep infestation. Oh, it's way down here. I do not want them to break that. For anyone that doesn't know, infestations don't really scale, so that's as big as a dug too deep infestations, I should say, don't actually scale, so you don't have to really worry about. Are bugs turned on? No, they're not. Ignore this. They're not turned on. Made a good point in the last round about raiders trying to melee turrets and therefore trying to get behind your barricades as well. Yeah, that's also annoying. But in general, for me, with the style that I play and the difficulty I play on and stuff like that, turrets and the different cannons and stuff aren't usually worth it, other than helping to dictate where raids go, helping with collision, and then them being used as a like an aggro thing for like drop pod raiders, stuff like that. Just in general, for my playstyle. They might work well for you. Even the mini turrets, depending on what difficulty and how your setups are and things like that. The mini turret can be seen basically as the same as a level 12 shooter with a short bow that can't move, and it eats electricity and steel instead of food, right? And sometimes that might be good enough for you. That might be the difference. So it's a very much depends on so many things, right? So many factors in your game, but in general, they're not super great. About the new rocket turrets, I think the new rocket turrets are actually pretty decent. They're just like next to impossible to use well in no pause, is why I tested them out a little, and they seemed pretty strong against unarmored things like tribals. If you have tribals that aren't don't have collision yet and you hit them with a rocket turret, like, you can just beat an end game tribal raid, but you can't pre-aim them, unlike mortars. I really wish they were like mortars. Mortars, you can set up a target and then you can have them hold fire, and then when you're ready for them to shoot, you just turn off hold fire and it shoots, right? Can't do that with those rocket turrets. So for no pause, I have to, like, while I'm getting everyone else ready, have to go have someone go to that turret, have to aim, I have to have it set while everything else is going on. I can't just like set it to fire and then pause it and go do whatever else I need to do. So for me, I think it's going to be very hard to use them in no pause, but they are very good against tribals, that's for sure. And it's very satisfying to see the rocket swarm hit them. Nothing I like seeing more than 200 tribals get evaporated by explosives in RimWorld. It's like my dear old granny used to say. She was always saying this. Couldn't get her to stop.
I just know these people were shaking butts together.
Granny didn't understand what being gay meant, so that's what she would say. She was, Granny was a bigot. Yeah. Super bigoted. Had the tiny square, but the bullets keep going everywhere except inside the range. No, they have a force miss chance. So mortars have been like that forever. The mortars have been like that forever. The only thing that improves it without mods is shooting experience past 8. So you want to put someone on your mortars that has the highest shooting possible, but they're still a force missed radius. Yeah, they're not going to bullseye it. There we go. Manipulation matters up to 100%, but it's not a huge impact. So if they have reduced manipulation, it's going to hurt them at it, but it's not going to. Same thing with sight. So you want whoever you're using to be the highest shooter you have, but you also want them to be healthy, right? So it doesn't make it like having more manipulation or sight, as you can see here, 100% max. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. So if you have someone like 150% sight, it's not going to make their mortars more accurate, but increased shooting skill 9 and above is going to make it more accurate. So the big thing is just use healthy people with your best shooting skill. But even like a level 20 shooter, you know, someone that's maxed out and full health is not going to bullseye stuff. But you don't want anyone that has any like hit on their manipulation or sight. You think careful shooter should increase mortar accuracy? That would be nice. Let's look on a kid. Sure. Look at this kid. There you go. There's a baby, a 3-year-old. All right, Vat Dwarf, I need a name for you. Johnny Tight Lips. You're a Vat child. All right, Johnny. Grab that gun. All right, I think I'm gonna accept this quest, and it could end the run, honestly, but I think I'm gonna go with it. I think we're gonna take the risk. I think I'll probably also get the second lung set up on our melee blocker. So let's go ahead and put the second one here. Install. Toxfire kidney left. Dwarves don't back down from a fight. Prediction time. All right, you guys want to wager some channel points? You gambling people. All right, let's go ahead and accept it. Okay, Lumberjack, I believe it was. Let's just double check to make sure. Lumberjack the Ascetic. All right. All right. For better or worse, it is accepted for our first Dwarven King. Lumberjack, the 14-year-old boy. There we go. It has been done. Get a little bit of those down. Lots and lots of toxic raiders on their way. Bring out the gyrocopters. That's a good idea. What I really need is some iron drakes. Iron drakes to take care of this, no problem. Okay, for the throne room. We don't need it set up as a throne room yet, but we are going to go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, isn't the piano and stuff only the smithing table that I almost never make? Isn't that what that's from? Oh, I ran us out of steel? Don't tell anyone. Yeah, we ran ourselves out of steel. We got some steel up there that we can mine. It's pretty close by. Suppose we'll work towards that. I'll probably get some more of these deep drills. So our steel situation is good again. All right, let's see how long on this first attack. I accepted it 1 day ago. So it's gonna be here in a quarter of a day. A lot of mechs. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set to stay in the wolves job priority tab right now. There it is. It's not anything fancy. I need to go back through it. It's especially weird now because like with kids growing up, I need to make sure I'm going in every time they get to a milestone and changing stuff in there. But all right, here's the first one. Here they are. They're fighting the mechs. Holy crap! We got box art battles on our hands. There's just explosions. You can't even call this. There's grenades going everywhere. Toxic grenades do nothing to mechs, but these guys don't care. Oh, they got a pincer attack coming from the north. The mechs are not ready for this one. The mechs are not ready. Guys, I gotta open one of the doors in case the mechs die quickly. All right, get those in there. All right, open that up. The pincer attack. Look at all of the toxic gas. Who's gonna win? Oh, this one is done already. A nice center hit with that flame centipede. These pirates are super screwed. Let's close that door. Close that door. These mechs are just absolutely wrecking. Valentin, if he came back, he would, yeah. The wasters are running away. We did it. We did this. We defeated that quest raid. All right, only one more to go. I'm gonna pat myself on the back there because we did this. We did this. Honorable Dwarven defense. Let's look at the toxic overlay after all that. Nah, it's fine. Look at all that gas, man. The cluster did lose its defensive structures. It lost a lot of its turrets. Let's see what happened to man here. What kind of waster has extreme toxic buildup? Come on. Come on. Oh, here's the next one. All right. Oh, phase 2. Phase 2. Oh, they got rockets. Oh, he hit his own person with it. And his old dead friend. Makar here. Doesn't realize mechs are immune to toxicity. All right, quest complete. You forgot about the mechs when you were betting? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was rigged from the get-go. Yes, we completed the quest. 800,000 channel points. Oh, ouch. Ugh. Maybe I should just cancel that bet, right? Or just cancel it and give everyone their points back. Just kidding. That's what happens when you bet. The house always wins. See ya, points. And then he made fun of me for betting wrong. And freeholder. Nice. Why does anyone ever bet on death? Because of the off chance it happens, that person's gonna make ungodly amounts. Like you could bet 100 silver on loss there, and if you win that, you're gonna have so much. You want 120,000 points on one of the defeats? I was surprised when no one really voted on defeat on some of those. Specifically when I was trying out the different Tomb Kings, and I was like, there's no way we win this. All right, the Yeoman Ceremony. Oh, I have to clear out the tribals in. I mean, the mechs. They actually didn't even kill that many of the mechs. Another raid. It's the Poo Poo Federation. Are they dropping in our back? Oh, no! I didn't set that up. I talked about this being a possibility earlier in the run. What do you guys have? They have all the short-range weapons. All right. Where's our melee blockers? Oh no! Grenade! Oh god! I heard it. I heard it too late. Well, we gotta fix this. Oh god. I talked about that happening in the early game. I was like, hopefully that doesn't happen. Firefoam Popper coming in clutch there. We actually wouldn't have taken much damage there at all to our people had I not ran, or had I noticed that grenade got tossed sooner.